and going in, even if it isn't a great attacking moment, is always going to do better than a team attacking separated.
Well, that's the question. Samsara is supposed to be the captain, but is he really the leader? Is he the main voice of the team? That's definitely a question. We'll have to see how that manifests here. But again, IG Fire need to be prepared to have the Winston and the Mei jump in. They need the Lucio. We'll see. They bring it in.
Begin your watch, APAC premiere.
How we're in the King's Row here. I think what I was trying to say, before we had that little bit of the graphic come up there, is that, again, the Reaper copter could be an issue. The Reaper jumping in with the nano boost there, that's something we actually do see from AllStrike a lot. So, you know, actually, no, these guys don't play Ana sometimes, but they do, at least in this case. Okay, sometimes they play 3-take and no Ana for whatever reason, but they've got all the pieces. This is, in my opinion, one of the best team compositions available to teams right now. And IG Fire are playing with 1-7 on that Roadhog here in their 3-tank setup.
And they're running Lincoln on Zenyatta again, so they're not trying to go for a disengage. The enemy team comes in. They're not even able to go out for an engage here because the wall comes in a little bit too late. Too many people have gotten by. And Roy is not really able to back up his team here. Sims already picked himself up a double kill, so IG Fire, I still say Lucio's the way to go here on this attack. I mean, obviously, Lincoln has been fantastic on Zenyatta. We saw him just on Temple of Anubis on the first point, picking up more kills than any Zenyatta should ever hope for.
That's
and
so
yet,
much control.
the speed you need.
They have so much control at this point right now, with the way that AllStrike was spread out. I thought they were going to put a couple more players up on towards the stair area, but they managed to hold off quite nicely. You see them getting aggressive. The wall from Roy didn't actually really allow IG Fire to stamp their authority on this point at all. Going to be a counter wall coming up. That's 9139 laying it down, and Roy's still trying to find a way on in with the rest of his team. It's going to be 9139 going in towards that ice form now. Nano boost being placed, and that's going to be the Blizzard in towards the back corner. So, you know, IG Fire can't retreat there if they want protection now. It's going to be Samsara working out from the fringes. He gets himself 1 kill, but East already got 2, and the Earth Shatter. That's a great way to protect a Reaper and also just completely wipe IG Fire off here.
It's actually a double Earth Shatter. Tresor used his to knock down Samsara, but East responded to counter him to keep Samsara alive, and they're able to hold yet again. Speed, maybe with Roy picking up that initial kill, the Blizzard was a little bit odd, but remember how we were talking about IG Fire against Snake, saying what we wanted to see Reaper with Zarya, except YJP was playing D.Va on Nimbani?
Yeah.
Well, we see why just there, the bubble was so important for Samsara because he's able to mitigate so much damage, not get frozen in the Blizzard most importantly, and allowed to use the Death Blossom.
This is such a good comp for the Reaper Mei to play into as well. These tanks are so vulnerable to them, especially Samsara, and now he can use his Blizzard to its full effect. There's going to be a wall up in the way that was actually laid by AllStrike here. You're going to have to respond to this Graviton surge coming in, but you see IG Fire not engaging on that. Despite getting the ult, the Graviton, 3 people caught in it. They can't do anything until 1-7 comes down now, gets himself the whole hog. Going to have to deal with Samsara around the corner. We can't wait for Wraithform through the wall here, so this should be IG Fire actually building some momentum on the point now. Samsara is going to fall, absolutely, towards Tresor, and now it will be IG to take control.
Yeah, so AllStrike just going to give that one up. They tried to force a fight. Didn't really work out for them. A great Blizzard by Roy, most importantly, actually shut down the engagement. It forced them to start to use this Wraith form a little bit early, and the Sound Bear that came in out of 11-5-20, well, just couldn't keep them healed enough when there's a whole hog out of you on 7 attacking you away. But now the question comes into IG Fire. You're going to have your Transcendence. Alright, I mean, there's no reason to switch heroes and use it here, but in this phase, when you need to engage and disengage so quickly, Lucio's got to be the way to go.
Well, I just think it's better in general. I mean, IG Fire don't really want to jump in your face. I mean, like, they don't really... You saw them sort of face off on the point when they first took it, actually, and just had to get engaged on, and then 1-7 came away with the whole hog. That's kind of how they won the fight. So it wasn't really because of them pushing forward, but we'll see. Blizzard's down now. Quite a lot of them, in fact, and Samsara is able to avoid that one for the most part, but he can't get through the wall. He's going to be caught from both sides there. A little bit frustrating for him. He was trying to find a way to get towards the enemy team's throat, but IG Fire, a good fight for them in that little straight. We're able to continue on. Like I'm saying, it's not fully essential to have that Lucio in some situations. If you're not going to engage, you actually saw the Graviton Surge come out there from AllStrike, and the fight got turned against them. IG Fire are actually getting engaged on and winning fights, even though they're the attacking team.
They shouldn't have, though. Youngbon missed his biotic grenade, and the Transcendence healed through the Graviton Surge. You can't let that happen if you're going to commit a Graviton Surge knowing that they're running a Zenyatta. You need to make those hit. You need to time them and also communicate it correctly. But here's the re-attack against him. Samsara going to be nano boosted, looking in towards the back. Pops the Death Blossom, picks up 2, and he should be able to hold on to this point because with 3 kills under his belt and still with teammates alive, I don't really see AllStrike losing this fight anymore.
No, Samsara now can be chasing on down. IG Fire were fairly split, actually. You saw that Samsara went over towards the right-hand side to pick a few people off. So they were able to drive a wedge in between IG Fire as that fight kicked off, where it looked like IG Fire had isolated it east. There was another wall to come down, care of 9139. That really was a good one to split things up.
D.Va. 9139 playing D.Va. Must have switched before the last fight. Not sure exactly why when you need... Well, it depends on how you want to do it, because you can mitigate you want 7 really well, and that's also a decent counter to a nano boost, because you just will mitigate all of his damage, whether it's a death loss.
But they still have the Zarya, so I mean, that's probably better than, you know, going without Zarya and picking up D.Va here. Samsara going to be coming forward. It's going to be, yep, the sound barrier to make that life very, very easy for him. Just a couple shots required. 1-7 manages to jump in, but that's not the efficient use of that ultimate you're probably looking for as a Reaper player. His whole team gets wiped. He uses the ult.
He's going to kill himself to get his spec suit back. Smart play to 9139. Realizing that, yeah, they have to run back in a long respawn. Why not just go for it? And actually might even switch to like maybe a Winston, maybe a Roadhog. But also against the D.Va anyways. But very smart play out of him. You guys are out there and you're playing solo queue, make sure to be doing that. Don't just kill yourself for no reason.
Don't just stand around with a Bunny Blaster either. If you have a chance that you can suicide and get your suit back, your team's going to really appreciate it a lot more. As you can do more.
For me.
Yeah.
Solo queue, come on, please. Anyways, there's going to be a Roy with the Blizzard, and with the position he's in, you can zone them off completely for this point. This is going to be hard. Samsara, it's coming out of you, man. You got 97%, now 98. You got the Death Blossom available, but you don't have the HP. The Nano Boost has already been used. The Graviton Surge is going to pull people together, and the Earthshatter coming across this one might have been good enough for them to solidify this victory.
Yeah, Samsara coming forward there as well. I like that. He actually engaged onto the back line, forced them back, and then guess what? It was 91-39 he went in towards the backside. He kept half of IG Fire out of this main fight now, and there's a chance here for AllStrike to finish them off, but Samsara gets caught up in the Graviton Surge, spreading decent damage there with the Death Blossom. Doesn't usually work out that way, but he gets himself too, and that's going to be making life tough, very, very tough indeed for IG Fire. 1-7 needs to back up. Those reinforcements need to wait for the rest of the team there. But that's the point of D.Va here, I guess we're seeing. It's 91-39. I don't know if you noticed it, but as Samsara backed away from the Zarya, 91-39 went straight on in towards Knight, and the rest of the back line there. Just keep him out of the fight. Ana can't heal when there's a D.Va in their face.
I might be mistaken, but I feel like Youngbon actually got 2 nano boosts off in that fight. One onto East and one over to Rain. I could be mistaken, but either way, Samsara's pushing. There's 20 seconds left on the clock here. Will we even hit overtime? If IG Fire loses this fight here in a completely one-sided affair, they wouldn't have a chance for it, but Lincoln takes down East. Nanoboost comes in on Samsara. He's trying to charge forward, but he's frozen up. He's at 67 HP, but he gets taken down. I show Samsara, he takes down Yuan 7, eventually falling to YJP. The Blizzard's being put in by Roy just to give him some space to work with. Not to mention AllStrike getting frozen up here. I don't think they have enough men left. 91-39 is just going to die here immediately as he gets desuited and just coming down to East to hold the point.
It's all about that Blizzard there. That was a fantastic Blizzard laid down by Roy. And you can see YJP was the one doing all the damage because he could. The self-destruct for 91-39 was underwhelming, didn't actually catch anyone, and if you look at his role in these last few fights, I think if you can cast a objective eye over the situation, you'd probably say that this is not worthwhile to go for this pick. I'd rather see a Winston jump in the back line and do that. You know, Primal Rage as well, going to give you more zoning potential. If you're taking D.Va for zone, I don't know if I think there's better picks in that.
It's not even necessarily that, too, because who's dealing with Naibo? Who's dealing with the Ana on IG Fire?
Well, it's supposed to be D.Va.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be him, but I don't know how effective he's actually being jumping to the back. And speaking of that, Samsara jumping into the side. Does get taken out immediately here, and 91-39 just get a suicide so you can respawn back in.
I hope there's a switch here. I want to see a switch. I mean, this is not a terrible spot for D.Va. At least you can challenge the higher ground, but if 1-7's waiting for you, then he's just going to kill you pretty much straight away. Bastion comes out from 91-39. Okay, a bit of a change. That's fine for me. I mean, he's super ready to switch up heroes, right? I just don't know if he's always making the right decision or knows why he's doing certain things. With the Graviton Surge combined with the Bastion, this should be quite nasty. Bastion can stay away from the Blizzard. He's not subject to Mei in this position now. And you can see that already 1-7 trying to come forward. He actually trying to juke this one out, but he won't be able to do it. He tries to go for the Death Blossom, but he gets cut down. Who's on the payload? At least there's a couple players for AllStrike there. And IG Fire, 22 seconds left. They need to address this Bastion problem, because now 91-39 can set up wherever the hell he likes, and IG Fire needs to be ready to remove him from the battlefield.
Now we're going to see a Genji. We don't have a nano boost. We're not going to have it up anytime soon for Youngbon to put it on to 91-39. But look at that level, by the way. 588. This man plays a hell of a lot of Overwatch.
Silver.
He is. There's actually a gold over in North America I end up seeing. But Tresser, what are you doing? You can't really afford to drop your shield too much. And Maywall's going to come in to zone him out, but he's just going to switch the position.
There's only one wall. There's only one wall. Roy's going to go down there. You can see the defense range is being used by the D.Va here. This is a reasonable way to try and cut down a Bastion. We can only use it for so long. 91-39's got his tank for him. This is all over for IG Fire. There's no way to push on towards this one. They didn't address the Bastion adequately. You might put a wall up in his face, but notice that 91-39 set in such a position that he just had to walk 5 meters and set up yet again. A D.Va thrown in his face? No problem. Eventually Defense Matrix is going to run out there, and IG Fire struggle and are unable to finish the first.
So Mitch, let me ask your opinion on this. If AllStrike win this first map, and are up 1-0 in the series. They're one map away from guaranteeing themselves a spot into the actual playoffs and one map away from knocking out IG Fire. Do you think IG Fire crumbles on themselves, or do you think there's a way for them to claw back in?
We saw a brief resurgence from them on Numbani in that last series, and I mean brief. I think that IG Fire are collapsing inwardly at the moment. To be fair, playing up against the Bastion there, it can be quite tricky. And he's such a power pick for multiple teams because when you pick in towards the end of a round, enemy teams don't have time. They might have one spawn wave to try and address the Bastion, but if the Bastion moves into a different position, it may not even matter what the enemy team is doing in terms of changing up the heroes and compositions and the like. So I like that from AllStrike. It's not the first time they've done this one.
I wonder if IG Fire has like this the case of too many cooks in the kitchen, where you have too many people trying to make calls and not one person on the team to make the official call that everyone's going to follow. Like, we've seen them be slow to adapt. We've seen them, be willing to adapt, but slow to do it in terms of doing it correctly, in terms of picking the right heroes at the right time to counter what you need. Like a Genji there's from Roy would have been good to deal with 9139 on the Bastion. D.Va obviously was a smart pick to somehow do something about it, but does he always look like this, Samsara? Yeah, he always look angry.
Wow, he just looks displeased all the time. Like, these people are beneath me. I'm better than this game, but look at who's talking right now. See, Key is the one sort of talking on IG Fire. I thought Roy was... Oh, sorry, that's not...
I was about to say, Key's not on IG Fire.
That was probably Tresor there, sorry, talking. Sorry, mix up.
Interesting to have, like, the main tank, the Reinhardt player, be the in-game caller.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I mean, again, I kind of like sometimes the initiator to be... Well, I always like the initiator to be the caller in teams as well, because there's less, input lag or delay passing information across. But this has already started here. You can see the IG Fire now. Well, they need to hang on as much as they possibly can, but they already lost Roy in this fight. This is what I mean about collapsing inward upon themselves. What are they doing? They're getting pushed straight on back. The Winston pick for East has worked out quite well so far. And already, I think AllStrike can be able to start this one off with a bang. This is not a good sign for IG.
It's hard for Yuan 7 to deal with the Reaper and the Winston, because the thing is, you want to hook both of them in. You want to kill both of them. You can instantly kill Samsara. East, you can do a hell of a lot of damage to. The problem is, there's two of them. What are you going to do? And there's even a D.Va to mitigate your damage to stop you from even hitting them in the first place.
You have a Reaper and you have a Roadhog here on IG Fire. So, in theory, you have the two heroes that are best at removing tanks from the game. So, theoretically, you should be able to hold up against that stuff, but it's all about how you're set up here. And Samsara is in a great position. He couldn't quite farm up his Death Blossom with the damage he'd done there. He was hoping for a little bit more, but he's going to go back in anyway. Quick engagement going to come through, and this is what a Lucio can do for you. Samsara getting towards the backlines, now going for the Death Blossom in. Bit of damage spread over the top, no kills. That's going to be a Nano Boost, a late Nano Boost coming in. You notice the Discord Orb obviously is in effect there. See, no Ana for AllStrike here. It's not bad if they want to play this way.
Oh, the pace. The pace AllStrike are playing on, the whole Samsara being overly committed, backs with Rayform. They're like, all right, they're not going to engage on us. They have to fall back. And then they instantly switch with the speed boost to throw them back in. IG Fire, they finally switched Lincoln over to Lucio, so they have the speed to get away from this one, but this is going to be tough. AllStrike, they have a lot of damage. Yes, you have D.Va, who, long range doesn't do too much, but with this Zenyani, put a Discord Orb onto someone, and if you're in their face, you're going to shred through them, and that self-destruct can be huge if you throw it to the back line against Naibo.
Earthshadow going to come down there. Samsara, though, clearly not perturbed by it or even affected in the slightest. The Graviton Surge bringing them all together here, and even an Earthshadow to use over the flight. You can see actually the D.Va is slept there, nicely done by Knight. Samsara is going to be lacking back up in a big way. Roy's going to come through, and now finally IG Fire are able to slow things down, but hardly any time has passed in this game, and that second checkpoint has almost been reached here. So this is AllStrike playing without an Ana here. This is fine because they're still engaging with everyone, right? So teams with Ana often just engage with the Reaper and then let people just sort of do some follow-up. But they're engaging with everyone. Everyone's going through. The Reaper's getting in there, the Reinhardt, and Samsara is being trusted to do the bulk of the damage here. And he is.
They don't really seem too scared at all to force his fights. Back, time and time again, we see this out of the Korean team, just non-stop aggression, not necessarily fighting, not necessarily when you have all ultimates or ultimates that you want ready to go. And Samsara, look how aggressive he's playing, knowing that there's really nothing that can stop him as long as he gets away from that hook out of Yuan 7. There's no flashbang, there's no Maywall to cut him off anymore because Roy's playing Reaper. He can play aggressively like this, and this is where Samsara is really going to excel. We've already seen it so far in this second half.
Samsara now as well. You know what's on his mind? The payload's in pretty much the optimal position for him to actually have a pretty good vantage point. You can see that actually
Oh no.
A few people are pushed forward here in this case, so I don't mind this one at all. You see that Samsara is constantly flanking around, constantly using those sort of rear entrances now. He's gotten right behind IG Fire. The sound barrier for both teams. Oh, it's a double kill! The self-destruct comes in for 9139. That's brilliant stuff there. IG Fire, you know, what a terrible situation for them to lose 2 players so cheaply to the self-destruct. And now Samsara can press forward. He's going to find himself the opposition Reaper here. I don't know how anyone follows that. I almost have migraine seeing it, but as the smoke clears, 3 kills for 91-39 in that fight. IG Fire were not prepared for the self-destruct.
Did he throw that over the building? Did he like throw it over a building to catch him off guard? I know he threw on the high ground, and Roy, who didn't have the May before, can't block off the self-destruct with your wall.
Or the walkway behind them.
Oh no, Samsara is looking to transition this into a quick push here. He's got the speed boost to come through. The guard surge as well to pull them all together, not to mention the death blossom here. Remember, that is the finishing point. We did not have IG Fire finish off the game here with them losing men left and right, with them completely eliminating the whole hog. All they have is Roy on the payload here, and also going to continue this momentum east. He's got his Earthshatter ready to go. 11-5-20, he has Transcendence to counter this, and Samsara again is pushed up aggressively.
Look at it, and this is the true Reaper play, right? You're not playing with Nana, so you can't exactly just break down the front door with the Nana boost. You need to work in from behind. He's flanking really, really well here, and IG Fire aren't able to deal with it.
He's
Graviton Surge. There's a Transcendence over this fight as well.
They used it just for him, but the thing is he just reforms out of it. The Transcendence is going to buy a little bit of time here, but also they're just not going down. They're not losing too many men, and Samsara is still not being dealt with. Is there anyone going to attack this man? Find the Nana boost on a Tracer? You want 7, you have to do some serious work. He's able to pick up 1 kill. The Blizzard comes down out of IG Fire just to delay the time, but Ace is just going to steal the payload. And AllStrike Gaming pick up map 1 against IG Fire. IG Fire 1 map away from being knocked out, and AllStrike, they have to know, we win this map, we're into the playoffs.
I mean, this is not where AllStrike probably expected to be after how much of a difficult group they had, and knowing they'll be up against IG Fire should definitely make you feel a little bit concerned, but IG Fire are looking to be a mere shadow of themselves that we saw in the group stage. This has not been good from them whatsoever. And it's interesting to see that AllStrike are playing what I would consider, maybe not old school. I wouldn't say that because it's just a single Reaper doing the damage. It's quite impressive to see what they can achieve though when you are playing only the 1 Reaper without that Ana to back him up with the Nano boost. It means that you can't run at the enemy team and just try and blow them up. You need to flank, and your tanks need to